Hello, everybody, and welcome into episode 4, the Wednesday edition of the Pack-A-Day podcast here on YouTube. I'm your host, Andy Herman. If you are new to this show, this is going to be a 5 to 10 minute episode. I'm going to be doing this 365 days a year, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you're coming back every day and checking it out because I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be doing this 365 days a year. I appreciate you following along. I appreciate all the great comments, the likes. It hasn't gone unnoticed, so thank you so much for doing that. Let me start by addressing the elephant in the room. I've been contacted by numerous people to tell me that, yes, indeed, I just have a white wall behind me. My lighting's not great. My face isn't great. I get all of that, and I promise I'm working on 2 of those 3 things. If you want a little bit of a backstory to how I kind of operate, I am insanely lazy by nature. So I decided at about Saturday around, 5 p.m. that I was going to do this new YouTube podcast, and I think I launched it at a little before 9 p.m. on Saturday and had the promo and the first episode up and ready to go. And the reason that is because if I don't force myself to do it, I probably won't ever do it. So that's a little bit behind the scenes, but I promise you, I will get some backdrop. I will get some better lighting. I will get a better webcam. I'm not getting a better face. I apologize for that in advance, but I do appreciate the comments and I know that you guys care. So thank you for making me aware of it. And again, I promise that it's going to get better as time goes forward. In the meantime, you're stuck with me and just you and I talking football, which was my promise from the onset. But here we go. Let's jump into things right away. My main topic of conversation today is Matt LaFleur, and I tweeted this out, and I want to discuss this because I think it's important, and I don't think Matt LaFleur is getting the credit that he totally deserves up until this point. I think people are starting to realize that he's 15-4 as a head coach, that he's 7-0 in the division, that maybe last year wasn't just a fluke. I know it's early in the 2020 season. It's just one game against Minnesota, but there's a lot of results now over the course of the last year plus that are pouring in to really show that, hey, maybe Matt LaFleur kind of knows what he's doing. But I want to rewind before that because I think in the midst of the Aaron Rodgers injuries that happened right before the Matt LaFleur hire and Mike McCarthy getting fired, I think we've kind of lost this idea that Green Bay was really a mediocre, middling franchise, even with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. So I mentioned that Matt LaFleur is 15-4 overall and 7-0 in the division, but in the Packers' 63 previous games prior to last season, prior to Matt LaFleur taking over, they were 30-32-1. 30 wins, 32 losses, and 1 tie overall in those 63 games with Mike McCarthy as head coach in their previous 63. That's not a one season sample size. That's basically 4 seasons worth of data. 30, 32-1, and that includes 27-24-1 when Aaron Rodgers is at quarterbacks throughout the entirety of the game, basically. So this isn't counting the Jets game where he got knocked out early. This isn't including the Vikings game where he got knocked out early, or any of the games that Brett Hundley started. Even in those 52 games where Aaron Rodgers was the primary quarterback, they only won 27 games in comparison to 24 losses and 1 tie. So basically a 500 football team with Aaron Rodgers at the quarterback. This is a team that went stale. It went stagnant. Not sure. I love Ty Dunn. He's one of my favorite overall NFL reporters. He obviously had that scorched earth piece kind of about the Packers as Mike McCarthy was on his way out. Whatever pieces of that you want to believe, there was obviously some probably smoke to that fire. Things were going in the wrong direction. There were the questions of whether or not Brian Gutekunst and Mark Murphy and Matt LaFleur were going to be able to coexist as and Russ Ball in that group as well. There were all of those questions, and Matt LaFleur has answered everything amazingly. I don't know that he's getting the credit that he deserves for taking what was kind of a floundering, mediocre franchise and really turning it around. Now, I know that he had Aaron Rodgers to work with, right? So as a new head coach coming in, what better way than to get Aaron Rodgers? But let's not forget that the questions going into that were all about, well, can anyone actually coach Aaron Rodgers? And can this new Matt LaFleur, who's never been a head coach in the NFL, can he get along with Aaron Rodgers and can he coach them? Well, last year he answered all of those questions. In fact, he coached his ass off and he has been fantastic with Aaron Rodgers. He has made his offense come to life. We saw it. We saw last week against Minnesota what that offense can really look like with a star quarterback running it when Rodgers is running on all cylinders. And again, I think it's I don't think we want to get too carried away with just one game. You go back to a season ago, week 1 against the Chicago Bears, the quote, well, we have a defense. Well, you didn't have a defense. It was a great game against Chicago, but the defense kind of looked like the same Green Bay Packers defense throughout the majority of last year, with, of course, some star performances from, Preston, Za'Darius, and Kenny Clark. But it wasn't this top 5, top 10 tier defense a season ago. They came back down to earth. The same thing's likely going to happen with the Packers offense this week, but we saw what that offense can look like when it's running on all cylinders, and it was a gorgeous, gorgeous thing to watch. I also think his on-the-field coaching, you look at him in practices, you look at him in games, how he handles game management, how he handles, situational football. I think he's done really well with those sort of things. I also think he's done a phenomenal job at bringing the locker room together. That is a tight-knit locker room. Those guys trust each other. They play for each other. They care about the Green Bay Packers. He has brought in an entirely fresh and new energy to this Green Bay Packers franchise, and it has been really fun to watch. You can talk about them being the most fraudulent NFC championship, contender a season ago, or the most fraudulent 13-3 team, whatever. He has instilled a way of winning into this franchise, and it's translated into wins so far. So I cannot give enough credit to Matt LaFleur and how he has done, how he's motivated the team, how he's handled the press, in-game situations, you name it. He has checked every single box that you would want out of a head coach. Is it early? Yes. We're not even 20 games into his career, and we can't jump to any conclusions. And at the end of the day, he will be judged based on championship banners, not on going 7-0 in the division. This is the Green Bay freaking Packers. They do not hang banners for winning NFC North championships or going 7-0 in the division. This is based on Super Bowls, but the results so far through 19 games are incredibly promising, and I think that goes, it should be noted, and I think that should be recognized, and that's what I'm here to do today. Before I let you go, I think it is worth noting Brian Gutekunst in his process and how he got this team to this point as well. He has done a phenomenal job getting Preston Smith, Za'Darius Smith, Rashawn Gary, Jair Alexander, Darnell Savage. You go on and on. Even guys like Josiah DeGuara, who Matt LaFleur mentioned this week. That wasn't a Matt LaFleur guy. That was a Brian Gutekunst guy. That was somebody that Brian Gutekunst brought to Matt LaFleur and said, "Hey, take a look at this guy. I think he could fit really well in your offense." Brian Gutekunst has done a phenomenal job of getting, players of great character who fit really well in that locker room. I mean, Za'Darius Smith is a Hall of Fame hire, or a Hall of Fame, transaction. He has done so much both on the field and off the field for this franchise in his short time being here as well. So tip of the cap to Brian Gutekunst, but today I really wanted to hone in on Matt LaFleur and what he's done in his short time as Green Bay Packers head coach. 15-4, hopefully he can keep that going, and they can head to 8-0 this weekend against the Detroit Lions. 8-0 in the division under Matt LaFleur against the Detroit Lions this Sunday. That does it for me. Make sure to check out Steve Perhatch and Sarah Kelleher on the full episode of the Pack-A-Day podcast, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Make sure to subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at Andy Herman NFL. You can follow the podcast at Pack-A-Day Podcast. I promise you, I am ordering lights. I'm ordering a webcam. I'm going to get some stuff behind me. Anything to take the eyes away from this area, it's coming. I promise. Thank you so much for your time. I'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, go Pack Go.